If you've ever wondered how new drugs go from a lab bench to your cabinet, this is the team making it happen. By the end of this video, you'll understand the real-world impact of regulatory affairs, how global teams bring drugs to market, and how you could be a part of one of the most in-demand roles in the life sciences industry. This first part is going to be taking a look at what is the regulatory team. A regulatory team is a team of experts that ensure that pharmaceutical products meet the laws and guidelines of every country that they're sold in. They work directly with national health authorities like the US's FDA or Europe's EMA to ensure that drugs stay legal and remain safe throughout their life cycle. Their job is part science, part law, part regulation, but no matter how effective the drug is, if it's not in compliance, it's not going anywhere. So let's take a look at what you could call the Avengers of pharma. These are some of the roles that are going to help you get your drug approved and that are really important to have on your team. The first is the global regulatory lead. They're the strategist. They design the overall regulatory plan for a drug, when to submit it, what to submit, where and how. They guide the interactions with health authorities, ensure science aligns with regulations, and are the go-to global messaging person. Think of them as the project's regulatory CEO. The second is the regulatory CMC, or chemistry, manufacturing, and controls. CMC experts ensure the manufacturing is well processed, documented, and meets safety and quality standards. They're deeply involved in how a drug is made, stored, modified over time. They also translate complex manufacturing data into real-world submissions. The third is the regional and local regulatory leads. These folks do work across the globe and they know country-specific laws inside and out. They guide local clinical trials and marketing approvals and often manage relationships with national health authorities. If your global strategy doesn't align with local law, these are the people who'll catch it and fix it. Next up are regulatory writers. They take all the data, clinical, manufacturing, safety, and craft it into highly structured regulatory submissions. They don't just write, they translate science into compliance. They really take the reins in terms of accuracy, clarity, and consistency because it's everything. The fifth is regulatory operations. These are the tech and process experts. They assemble, format, and publish submission packages, making sure everything is clean, hyperlinked, and ready for view. They also manage regulatory databases and ensure records are always audit ready. Companies will sometimes outsource this work to consultants that will have their own software or other means of handling these regulatory management systems. The sixth is labeling experts. The label is the official source of the truth for a drug. It gives the indications, the dosing, warnings. So labeling professionals make sure every word matches regulatory approval and medical data. It's not really just marketing here. It's about legal documentation that affects pricing, access, and safety. Next is advertising and promotion. These professionals review every promotional piece. This could be TV ads, brochures, even tweets, and they ensure that they're accurate, balanced, and compliant with legal and regulatory standards. They collaborate closely with marketing, and they're the final gate before public release. It's really just double checking that the company is consistent with the way that they're marketing and the way that they're talking about this drug that they've spent so much time on. The eighth is regulatory policy and intelligence. This group keeps an eye on the future. They monitor evolving laws and influence regulatory policy through industry groups. If there's no existing regulatory pathway for your innovation, they'll help find one or even build one. This could be in the form of trade associations, policy briefs, and global meetings. So now that we've ran through the whole regulatory team, let's talk about why this actually matters. From filing an investigational new drug, to submitting a new drug application, to updating labels, the regulatory team is there at every step. They balance safety, speed, compliance, access, and their work isn't optional. It's legally required in every country that the drug is sold. Without this team, you don't have a product. You have essentially potential with a lot of paperwork. So if you're interested, how do you get involved in regulatory affairs? You don't need a PhD, a PharmD, or a master's. That's not to say that they don't help, but backgrounds in biology, chemistry, quality assurance, and public health are all great starting points. The key is really to learn regulations and to build cross-functional communication skills. Regulatory affairs is a high-growth field in high demand, especially as regulations get more complex and personalized medicine becomes more the norm. So the next time you hear about a breakthrough drug coming to market, or maybe even something that you might use if you have a particular disease or somebody in your family does, you can remember that there's a whole team of regulatory professionals making sure that it's legal, safe, and available to patients. If you're interested in science, strategy, and real world impact, regulatory affairs might be your calling. And this is also a good field for people who like to be really active in a company, communicating with lots of people every day. If you found this video helpful, like and subscribe. And in the next video, we're going to be talking about the first step to regulatory intelligence, information collection, and a collection of website addresses. And as always, take care of yourself, be patient with yourself, don't be too hard on yourself, and I wish you a very nice day.